Hi everyone, welcome to Make It Teen. Today we'll be making paracord bracelets, and if you're in grades 7 through 12, you can pick up a grab-and-go kit from the reference desk or via curbside pickup anytime this week. And if you're not in grades 7 through 12, you are still more than welcome to follow this tutorial at home. What you'll need to do this craft is a pair of scissors, a buckle, a lighter or matches, a pair of pliers, a length of paracord, and a ruler. The first thing we have to do is measure our wrists, because that's going to tell us how much paracord we need for the whole bracelet. So to do that, you just have to wrap the paracord around your wrist and get it to a point where it's comfortable and pinch your fingers there and don't let go. Now, not letting go of that paracord right where you had it, shimmy it up to the ruler and see how long that is. That's going to be the circumference of your wrist. Now, for every 1 inch of your wrist measurement, as a general rule, you're going to need 1 foot of paracord. So, for example, if my wrist measures 7 inches, then you're going to need 7 feet of paracord. Now that you know how much total paracord you need for your bracelet based on your wrist size, you can measure out the full length of paracord and cut it if need be. You might notice when you cut your paracord that the ends become quite frayed. The solution to that is to take a little bit of heat with a lighter or matches and melt the ends a little bit, and then you can use pliers if you have them to form it into the correct shape so that you can fit it through your buckle more easily. Once your paracord is cut to the appropriate length, fold it in half and make sure that both ends are even. You can thread those ends through one of the openings on the buckle. Because our buckles are flat instead of curved, it doesn't matter which side you start on, so you can just choose one and go for it. Pull the paracord almost all the way through, leaving a little loop sticking out the end. As always, make sure that those ends are even. That's very important to make sure that your bracelet doesn't look super weird once we're finished. Before we can secure the paracord to the other side of the buckle, we have to tie a knot first. To do this, thread the ends through the loop and pull it tight. The next step is to thread the ends of the paracord through the other side of the buckle. Once you've done that, you'll need to bring back your ruler and measure your bracelet one last time. My wrist is about 7 inches in circumference, but I like my bracelets to be a little bit loose, so my goal is to have a bracelet that's about 8 inches long. Make sure that you're only including one side of the buckle in this measurement, since the two pieces of the buckle will fit together when you wear it. Now that you've made your bracelet the length you want it to be, it's time for my favorite part, weaving. The first stitch is always the hardest, so I like to tape down one side of my bracelet so it doesn't wiggle around too much. I'm going to start on the right side of my bracelet. First, cross the right hand strand over the bracelet to create a loop. Then, take the left hand strand and bring it under the bracelet and thread it through the loop from underneath. After that, you just have to tighten the knot. You'll want to pull it fairly tight so it'll hold as you continue to weave. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Take your left hand strand and cross it over the bracelet. Take your right hand strand and bring it under the bracelet and thread it through the loop from underneath. I'll show you the right hand side one more time. Cross the right hand strand over to the other side. Take the left hand strand and thread it through the loop from underneath. Continue this stitch, alternating sides until you've run out of room. Once you've run out of room to add more stitches, Trim the leftover paracord if there is any. Use a lighter or matches to melt the tip just slightly, and use a pair of pliers or some other tool to press the melted end back into the bracelet. Do the same thing on the other side and revel in your victory. You've made a paracord bracelet. If you're ever in an emergency situation, you can unravel the paracord to use it as a splint, to make a shelter, to rappel down a mountain should those unhappy circumstances ever occur. Join us next month for the next installment of Make It Teen. We'll be making very spooky orange candles. Until next time, happy crafting!